Bonjour, hi. So this is the interview I did with Andy Morell during the episode 42, where we're talking about how we can run virtual conferences with Microsoft Azure. Bonjour, hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome to All Around Azure episode. I forgot which episode we are today. We are episode, I think, 42. That's crazy. We just started a few weeks ago, and now like episode 42. That's crazy. I'm Frank Boucher. I'm a Microsoft Cloud Advocate, and today with me I have a very special guest because it's a Microsoft Azure MVP. MVP is for Most Valuable Professional, and this guy is a magician with VMs, and he will share his secret with us today. So very happy to have Andy Morell with us, right? Morell, I'm pronouncing your family name correct?
Yep. You are, yeah. Well done. One of the first people that has ever done that. First off.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. So based somewhere in UK, I forgot to ask you exactly where.
If anyone out there knows the UK fairly well, it's just north of Bristol, on the Welsh border. Okay. So it's a nice little place.
Nice. So welcome aboard. Welcome to the stream. I'm happy to have you today.
Excellent.
And even more because you just jump in last second, had a little hiccup with the schedule and everything, but you say, yep, I'm going in. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty cool. Thank you a lot for that. I'm sure the viewers will also very appreciate what you have to share with us today. So pretty cool. We'll be talking VMs, right?
We're talking mainly VMs. It's all around the systems that we created as part of the live coders. And I will get onto that in a few minutes. But we will. It's mainly VMs, a little bit of networking here and there, and then the software that we added on later on. So I'll talk about that as well.
So I mentioned you're a Microsoft MVP. What's your specialty? Because when you are an MVP, you need to have a specialty. I was an MVP before. My specialty was Azure, but your specialty is not Azure, even if you use Azure, right?
No, mine is developer technologies,
okay.
which basically means everything. I
thought it was my category, like Azure. That was like everything.
No, it's basically I consider the sort of developer technologies folks as the teachers, the people that sort of it's this group of people that just do everything all rounders, but promote development, promotes the development community, and sort of push that forward. So, for example, it's doing things with open source software, doing things with I've been broadcasting on Twitch for 4 years now. So it's one of those things where that's sort of led, and that's where I think the developer technologies group comes in.
4 years you've been doing that?
Yeah.
Always in code or game at the beginning? I'm assuming game.
No. I started, the coding was my first coding. Hang on. My first gaming stream was October 2016. Okay. So yes, that is 4 years. My first development stream was February 2017. So it was about 4 to 5 months of gaming before moving straight over to development.
Oh, that's nice. And what made the audience here is I think a lot of people on Twitch are younger, young professional, maybe still student and stuff like that. So what brought you to development? Or IT or computer science, depending on that, what we do.
Right. So why I made that switch? I play games. I have done for years. I'm sort of one of those. I'm sort of mid to late 30s, and I'm very much the generation that sort of started with computer games. The Super Nintendo. I even had a Spectrum at one point. And then you sort of move up, and then you get to the next generation of PlayStation, and when Xbox came out, and then the last 25 years or how many other years since then. And that's where I've always been a gamer, but not very good at it. So when I was doing that game streaming, it was just to no one, as a hobby, as a replacement for going out, because it meant I could do something in the evenings. Because in August 2016, my son was born, and I sort of look after him a lot, and I felt guilty going out and just leaving my wife and family at home, and it was a case of, I'll be at home, do that, and sort of have a bit of fun there. And then, because I was basically bad at gaming,
just like
and
me.
there was like no viewers, no anything like. It was like I went, and at the start of 2017, one of the major bots was disappearing from Twitch, called Revlo, and I went, right, I want to create my own. So I looked up the Twitch API. I looked up the main .NET library, which is actually called TwitchLib, and I used that and created a bot and did it on one stream. And that was sort of where it kicked off for me. And that was under Creative when that existed, before it became Science and Technology.
Oh, pretty cool. And when did you already, how can I say that? Did you always knew you want to go do, like in your life, did you already knew I want to go and do computer science or computer stuff, or you are planning to do, I don't know, accountable, and then you end up, or singer, and then you end up developer?
No, I've always been a developer. So my uncle, who was also a developer, still is a developer. He turned up for Christmas. He was visiting the family when I was around about 8 years old, and he turned up in his nice sports car, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice car." What? And then he goes, "Yeah, I work for Oracle." So he worked for Oracle in a city in the UK called Leeds.
Okay. And
he worked there and did his development. I don't know exactly what he did. I still don't know exactly what he does when it comes to his. But he turned up in his nice sports car, and I was like, "Oh, excellent!" But in that same year was the year I got my ZX Spectrum, and they were very much little programming machines. I mean, it was beside the Commodore. So the Commodore you could do programming on, but the Spectrum was very much, hey, you load it up and here's the programming language. You can just go. But at the same time we got that Spectrum, I got a book with a load of little programs in there that you literally had to rewrite from the book. There was no copying, pasting. There was no nothing. Nope. It was just like, copy this across, and that's where I started. And there may have been like times where I went, oh, I want to be a policeman, or I want to be a race car driver, or
an adventurer.
An adventurer. I want to do this. I want to do. But they always came back in the end to development.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's where I've been sort of forever.
Oh, good for you. Like for me, it was not clear, that part, but that's another story.
Yeah, we'll learn the story of Frank in his autobiography or biography, whichever one he writes.
10,000 detour. It's funny. Elliot Brand was saying that since it's episode 42, we need to have the ultimate answer in this stream.
The ultimate answer
to the question of the life, the universe, everything, right?
Oh, I was just going to go with the answer to Azure. The answer to Azure is 42, and there we go.
Yeah, but don't use it as a password, because that's the first guess for any geek.
Actually, how many Azure services are there? Because I have no idea.
I have no idea. I was about to say a bad word. A lot.
a ton of yeah.
Hey,
so,
Sea Shark. Hello.
Hey, Shark.
So yeah, there's more than 100. I don't know. There's more release than there are days in a year. There's always, every day there's something new.
Yeah.
When I started doing Azure, it was very simple. It was just web role and worker role. That's it. So I could cover full Azure, but not anymore. Not anymore.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, there were no VM, but now you're there, and you can do super fancy thing with VMs.
You can like run conferences and
Yeah.
other things.
So, Mister, where can people find you on the internet?
Well, here is my Twitter handle.
Yeah, don't do the same mistake as me.
I am the Slevin, or
on Twitter.
On Twitter, or you can find me as Lucky Number Slevin. Now there we not quite Rollers, not quite. Rollers nearly got it right in chat. He missed a K and he replaced an E with an N. An E with an I with an E.
You can type it.
Well,
type
I will type it if I lean over to. Hang on, give me a second. I am on the wrong PC.
Oh.
What I've got is I've got the chat on a different screen, on a different PC altogether.
I was like, just say hello and it will write your name.
Microsoft developer. There you go. I'm just coming into chat. I'll be there in a second. And I have got that on. So that is my Twitch username. Hello, everyone. So yeah.
So earlier today, I was happy to have Andy on my stream, and I tweeted that I was going on a stream with Lucky No 7 or Lucky No, yeah, or 7 Kevin. I don't know.
Slevin.
On Twitter, but on Twitter is D7Slevin. So
unfortunately, wrong person, and yeah, I've been trying to get that Twitter account for years.
So yeah, but otherwise, how many you're streaming often also on Twitch, right? You're, like you mentioned earlier, you're part of the Live Coders, a very nice community.
I usually stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Sundays, and that's between 9 and midnight BST or UTC, depending on time of year. Currently BST, and yeah, that's my typical stream. It's been a bit less recently due to just work commitments and
life.
Yeah. So I'm building back up on that one again, and we're doing some exciting stuff with sim racing. So if you're into your driving simulators, we're doing some stuff with telemetry at the moment, which is all numbers and graphs and data, and I'm hoping to actually plug something into Azure to try and visualize that at some point.
One day life come back a little bit more to the normal, and you have the chance to go visit the Microsoft office in Detroit. They are heavy on car and stuff like that as a client base over there. Mm-hmm. There's a simulator where you sit in a device that move, and they monitor all your action and display them in a fancy Power BI chart, like real time and stuff like that. So you play a video game, or racing game. I say video game, like a racing simulation something, and they record tons of matrix, and they have tons of feature that are this kind of focus. They have a basketball with like sensor in it, so when you throw it or play, they record statistic and stuff like that. But the car simulator over there will make you very envy, I think.
Hang on, I have got something here. That is my steering wheel.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
Yeah.
it's yeah, the, yeah.
Serious. Look serious.
It's a little bit. It's a serious piece of kit.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I'm more
a lot of
arcade
fun.
type. And when it turns to cars in a game, I'm more like, can I just pick the color and
Pick the color and go.
well, like not just the color, but what's the game that the focus was just making crash and cars, something Paradise.
Burnout, I think, or Need for Speed.
No. A Burnout Paradise, yeah, Burnout.
Yeah.
So like we have like different type of cars. Like they were a little bit different in term of. So Burnout is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's how I like picking cars and stuff like that. That's good. I like that.
Excellent. Yeah.
So you do
that's
sim simulation, but not just playing. So you mentioned algorithms. So you do like the code part of it, or?
No, what a lot of the simulation racing games pump out data on like suspension travel, where you are in the world, and sort of g-forces in all the directions, and wheel temperatures, and all sort of wheel pressures and tire pressures, and which I think a few of them even give out telemetry data on how much each wheel is spinning, and not actually being connected to the tarmac. So that's sort of all this data that is pumped out from these games. You can just grab and push out somewhere else. So that's what I'm trying to do, is maybe create Twitch extensions that show this data. So that's the next step. So, but that's a hobby project when I'm not actually doing work.
Really cool. So have a look. I just put his. If it was not obvious enough with his name, now you have the full Twitch website. Thank you a lot, Andy, for spending this time with us today, and thank you for all of you in the chat being with us, reacting, asking questions. It's always very appreciated. And come back tomorrow, same time, for another episode of All Around Azure. Bye, everybody.